Welcome to our next session of Lead, Learn and Grow. I'm Helen Clayton, Managing Partner at PM&M, and I'm really chuffed to welcome Caroline Noblett from Granby.
Hi.
Hi Caroline, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Good, good. So, Managing Director of Granby, a fantastic business based here in Blackburn. How does that feel?
Amazing. Amazing. I think I count my lucky stars every day that I'm in a position where I am now. Getting to lead Granby and the future of Granby and where it's obviously going to go to is just something that I take a lot of pride in.
That's amazing. Congratulations as
Thank
well.
you.
It's so well deserved. What did it feel like on the run up to knowing that you were going to be taking that role from January to then go, it's here?
Massive imposter syndrome.
Okay.
That was constantly coming into my brain. I think with the structure of how Granby's been, I was kind of also thinking, should I put myself forward to go for it? And then also just thinking of the outstanding achievements that Jo has done in the 23 years, I think it has been at Granby. Trying to convince myself that things didn't need to be from the 31st of December into the 1st of January. I was meant to have that 23 years worth of knowledge in a night. So I think it was a learning for me.
Yeah. So in terms of your development and your career, what made you back yourself in that moment?
I think I would have regretted it if I didn't try. So I think I've seen the journey that Granby's been on, and obviously for us to go to employee owned, part of that and how it kind of works is the leadership team has to be a strong leadership team, and Jo's got the business into a position where it was performing really well, the leadership team was there, and I didn't think if I would have tried elsewhere the support would have been there from day one. I knew that people were backing me to do well, so I think it was more the regret that if I didn't go for it, I would have really regretted it.
Yeah. So employee owned, that's one of my questions as well. There's still not many businesses around that are. So what's the shift? What's the dynamic?
So I think for us, the shift hasn't really felt, I was expecting it to be more of something. The culture is a big part that plays into employee owned. And I think at Granby, you've obviously been to Granby, so the employees are huge there. They're just fantastic in what they can do. So I think the culture of the place hasn't changed. I think it's more, now we've become employee owned, trying to get people on the journey as well. So where they're thinking of, if we got some extra profit for here, that could actually come back to you now. So it's the little things of what they can do and trying to involve them in decisions where it's still suitable to involve them, but then for also to understand that yes, employee owned, you do have more of a say, but also people's roles and responsibilities are still the same as well. So it's been finding that balance, I think, that's been the challenging part, but we're getting there.
Yeah. Has it been rewarding to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say so. I think we've been fortunate enough, so it's been 2 years, we've just done our 2-year anniversary, and we have done a profit share with the employees each year. So to see the kind of the reactions, that was just heartwarming. And I think it kind of got them on board as well to think this is just the initial one, what more could come.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it sounds great and just builds on Granby's legacy and everything, that Jo's kind of handed over to you.
Yes.
So Jo must be a role model.
Massively.
Who else?
Absolutely. I think within my working career, I've probably had two that stand out to me. And Nick was the first one. So when I got to when I got to Williams, that was my first kind of in the industry kind of sector. Still speak to him quite a lot. I think he's still a lifelong mentor. So he was definitely one role model. And then Jo, so much so for showing me how you can do both. So how you can still be a mum, how you can be successful. It's an absolute juggle, but knowing that you can do both. So I'd say I've had two role models.
That's brilliant. And in terms of you being a role model, do people look up to you? How does that work?
I hear that, but I find it the most alien thing to hear.
How come?
I think it's just because I see it as such a huge compliment. So the people that I see as role models, I really do hold so high up. But then to think that I could be making that influence on somebody else and the impact to them, it's just something that's taken a little bit more getting used to.
Yeah. So do you think that's kind of a bit of a chimp coming back and testing you a little bit?
Probably.
In that leadership role?
Yeah. So I think it's just the imposter syndrome that does keep coming back.
Yeah.
I think I'm finding my feet with it, finding my own confidence, my own way to do it. And one of the massive things that Jo keeps saying is she doesn't want me to carry on Granby the way that she did it. She wanted me to go my own way, and she's so supportive of me doing that. So I think it's just everybody else learning the contrast between how I want to do things, how Jo did things.
So how would you describe your, I guess, leadership style then?
I'm very, very towards the people. I love involving people. I love being somebody else's cheerleader more than my own cheerleader. So if I can take anybody on a journey, I definitely want to do that. And I think that's the feel I want to do, which suits so well with the employee owned.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that.
Yeah.
So I guess the flip side is you've had role models, you've continued to have mentors and people around you in that supportive environment. What hurdles or challenges have you faced along the way that have made you either a stronger or more resilient person?
I think early in my career, I was in quite male-dominated industries, so the motor industry, construction industries. And as well as qualifying young, so I didn't go to university, I thought it was weighing up what career could I do that wasn't a university one, so I did the AAT kind of route. Yeah. So I was qualified as an accountant at 21, working in the motor industry, in kind of like a leadership position as well, and kind of having to deal with people not really taking me seriously at that age.
Okay.
That I remember that being a really big hurdle at the time for me, and I think it took a lot of my own character to become a bit stronger, because my initial kind of reaction to quite a lot of things is to be quite reserved, but it gave me the confidence going forwards, and I still take this to me now that I work in facts. So if I know that my fact's correct, I'm happy to stand my corner.
Yeah.
If I'm in an environment where I'm a bit like, I need to think about that one, I'm happy to just say, give me half an hour, let me go and get my facts together, then I'll come back kind of thing. Yeah. But that was definitely a hurdle for me, where people weren't taking me seriously when I was like, I am qualified. Yes, the experience needs to come, but from an accounting perspective, I could really help you. Let me help you.
Yeah, amazing. So in terms of taking Granby forward, you don't need to tell me about the details of the plan, the business plan, but what does that entail for you and the people around you?
So I'm currently, one of my first jobs is now doing the 5-year plan. So it's all new. I've always done it with my finance hat on. So now doing it with the business hat on is completely different. So my first point I've started with is actually saying, I've just sent out a survey to all the employees to kind of be asking them, 5 years, where would you like Granby to be? What do you think our clients like about us? What could we do more? So I've started at the step that I think I'm best at, getting the opinions from everybody. Then I'll be able to kind of like consolidate it and take that away then with our rising stars, kind of go to that level, and then eventually get it to the leadership level to kind of then be like, right, everyone's on the same page, we've all got their different ways, but to try and see, and it's definitely the growth piece. The whole point of the employee owned was the lasting legacy. So as long as I can keep everyone focused on the growth, how we can get there, keep everybody positive on the right spin, then I definitely think it's the right track.
Brilliant. What does Caroline do out of work to keep the balance?
Oh gosh, I have Amelia, who's 6. Well, she'll be 6 on Wednesday.
I was talking balance, not manic.
I don't think the word balance works in my life. So there's Amelia, who's 6, and I've got Dalton, who's 3. And I think, to be honest, I like that they take a real pride in what Mummy does as well. Yeah. So I think especially Amelia, Dalton just thinks Mummy goes to go get coins. He always says coins. But I think Amelia, she's really interested in the working world. So the fact that I can kind of take home work and explain it as well, that's a real positive. But I think the balance of trying to juggle it all, Jo's been the most flexible manager for me to have. And so with that, it's kind of been, I finish 3 days a week at 2:30. Everybody knows I do that, but it's to pick Amelia up from school, so I still get to do the mum part. Yeah. Yes, once they've gone to bed, if I need to pick something up, I obviously do that, and that's completely fine. But it's so I get the balance of still being a mum and a working parent as well.
Yeah. And what do you do for you?
Still working on that one.
That's a common answer.
Yes. I think one thing I have got in my garage, I've now got a cross trainer. I'm finding half an hour on that does the world of good for me. So it's literally just half an hour that I need, clears my head, just kind of gets me back on the right track, empties any thoughts that's in there. That's been a huge difference I've seen. I think I've probably been doing that about 6 months now, and I've seen a big change from that.
Yeah. So in terms of moving forward and your role and I guess your career in you, you've still got Jo around you, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal that she's there and she's there to tap into, and whenever you need you can tap into that. Have you got any other formal kind of coaching or mentoring that goes alongside that to keep pushing you?
So I'm part of Vistage, joined that in January, so it was perfect timing. So it was January when obviously all this happened as managing director, and my first session with Vistage was in January as well. So I feel like they're hand-holding me through this. That's really helped with the imposter syndrome that I mentioned. I think the first session I went to, I explained about the imposter syndrome, and everybody in the room was like, been there, done that, still have it. So they're kind of, it's just such a nice group to meet with once a month as a cohort, but then also once a month to have the time with Hamish. Both of those things I find invaluable, and they're something I look forward to each month.
Yeah, I'm a member of Vistage too, and it's the space, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the space, and physically you're away from the business, so that actual physical space I find helps too.
Definitely.
Because like you say, you go into the cross trainer in the garage, and again there's some physical space, and you shut away from things, aren't you? And then Vistage allows you the same concept, really. It's
the space, and I think it's also having the opinions of other people, where you can go in and think that you're having the worst time in the world, then you hear somebody else and you're like, yeah, rein it in, Caroline, it's not that bad. But it's the kind of safe environment that's built there. It's definitely something that I've needed, and I think it was really helping me throughout this.
And that's interesting, isn't it? You call it a safe environment, but from everything you've said today, that's what you create at Granby, is a safe environment for people. You enable people to develop and offer opinions and be involved, but it's all in a safe environment.
Yeah, and I think that's the only way. I think I've been in an environment once before where it didn't feel that safe, and it's just something that's kind of stuck in my mind that was a bit, that's not going to get the best out of people. And to get the best out of people, yes, everyone learns differently, but it is important for them to feel safe, and then they will come up with these brilliant suggestions that you just think, why on earth didn't I think of that? But it's kind of, I've learned very quickly in the managing director role, I can't do everything. I need the support of other people. So if all I can do is offer them a safe place and the kind of support to do it, I can do that.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.